Okay, well, so far we've talked about Death Magnetic, the Grammys, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Guitar Hero, Metallica. With Metallica having an amazing 25-plus year career, is there something that you guys haven't done yet that you go, you know, we'd really like to do this? I mean, when you've had such an extensive career with the bands you played with before, now Metallica, they've done everything. Is there something that you guys, you know, we'd really like to do this?
Well, there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of cool places that we'd like to play that we haven't played yet. You know, interesting places with different cultures. Mm-hmm. We've talked about that a little bit. One of the things that we haven't done officially is really put together a live DVD, you know, of what we're doing now, especially with this tour. That would be something to look into. Also, it feels like Death Magnetic is maybe the launch pad for some more music. It almost feels like that was sort of the training ground for what we can do. You know, I think one of the cool things about this is Lars and I really gaining trust as a rhythm section and building on that. So I think there's just a lot of room for more special music. And you know, one of the things with Metallica is there's no shortage of riffs. I mean, every day there's some new great riffs. Yeah, I mean, it's insane. And we actually get very excited about that and look forward to writing again.
That's fabulous to hear. With all the current sold-out tour that Metallica's on right now, you guys have performed. You've performed with Metallica in many other projects all around the world, big, small, but is there ever a venue that you walk into, that one that still feels electric, that you go, man, I can't wait till we get there. This is one of my favorite places to be. Right. Don't care where it is.
I mean, every city has, you know, its special quality, you know. Even places like Canada have really stepped up. The fans are just next level. It's always great to be in Europe in the summertime. You know, you've got such a variety of different types of people and different cultures in that mix. I mean, we're very fortunate to be, you know, as most bands are, to travel the world. You know, you're playing out on the West Coast, whether it's in San Francisco or Los Angeles or, you know, San Diego, whatever, Northeast, Northwest. I mean, it's all great. Obviously, we love coming to the Midwest. Chicago is one of my favorite cities, especially in the summertime. It's a little bit cold in the winter, but I mean, people are so down to earth, and you know, the bars are real mom and pop. You know, we love that. I mean, every time we play Chicago, we end up staying out too late. Same with New York, but it's always in good fun. So I can't really say specifically that there's any one place that we'd rather play. You know, it's all great. But definitely, a city like Chicago is you know, is wonderful. My dentist is here, so every time I'm in Chicago, I go to the dentist. I was there earlier, and you know, my optometrist as well. So anyway, sign of an old man: optometrist, dentist. Okay.
It's all good. Well, of all the Metallica tracks you perform with the band, I know you guys have an extensive set list that you guys change from time to time or night by night. I know every musician sometimes gets to that point and they say, oh, you know, you're fired up about them all, but is there this one track you just can't wait to get to on the list?
Definitely. For me, it varies, you know, because there's so much music in the catalog. I love playing songs like All Nightmare Long. It's a challenge. It's got everything in it. It's, you know, heavy, grooving. It's definitely something that again poses a challenge in terms of technique, being able to perform it with confidence. So I really like that song off the new album. The classic stuff, I mean, Master of Puppets is always a hit, and I love playing Fight Fire with Fire when we play it. It's not often, but when we do, that's a fun one to play. Yeah, I just got to keep an eye on James and Lars, because sometimes, you know, the tempo shifts in a couple different directions, but it's fun.
Great. Well, it's nice to hear you say the word challenge even after all these years. You guys are still fired up and challenged with this. This is great. Let's go back to the early days. Now, I'm sure in Metallica you can pretty much have any bass guitar you want and stuff like that, but when you were an up-and-comer as a musician, what's that first instrument? When did you get it? The one you go, oh man, I love this. Right. You know, this is the one, you know, I'm on my way. What was that instrument?
Well, the very first bass I ever officially owned was actually a Fender Jazz bass but it was a copy, and it didn't sound that great. It didn't even work through an amp. That's how good. That's how great it didn't sound. But I kind of practiced on that and developed my technique on that instrument. So it was a blessing in disguise. And from then on, we would take instruments that maybe needed help, and we'd make them work properly, give them a facelift, take amplifiers, clean them up, and then we would trade that in for maybe a better instrument and a better amp. You know, we would do that because we didn't have a lot of money. So my first official bass that I would actually playing clubs and doing shows around town, backyard parties, was actually a Ibanez, and it was an Ibanez musician and an amp head.
One last question. Any funny band names from back in the day, those early kid bands, and you're coming up? Is there any one band name that way back when you're in the basement with the buddies? What was that band name?
Okay. Well, my first official party band, which isn't that, I mean, it's not that interesting of a name, was called Oblivion. And we played everything from Rush to Black Sabbath, Ozzy, which is very strange and surreal because one of the things I remember is playing War Pigs back in the day with my party band, and then all of a sudden I'm on stage with Ozzy playing War Pigs, you know, and you know, Iron Man and stuff like that. And I'm just looking at the guy going, wait a minute, what's wrong with this picture? So anyway, a lot of special moments now when I look back to the early years and see where I'm sitting now and who I'm working with. But Oblivion was you know, my first official rock band, and I was in various other kind of silly kind of funky rock groups and jazz fusion, you know, trying to do it all.
Great. Well, Robert, I really truly want to say thanks for taking the time out and chatting with us, and I really appreciate it. You have a great show. Kick some ass at the Grammys. Can't wait to see you guys at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and thank you so much. Robert Trujillo from Metallica. I'm Tommy Carroll. This is Real Rock 103.9 The Bear.